big pepper, big pepper, big pepper. Big pepper. Big pepper. Big pepper. Big pepper. Big pepper.
Streaming through a hole in time and space, ready to play some Limbus Company and see the fate of our lovely girl Xichun. It is Shmuppy! Okay everyone, I'm here with a cup of tea, ready to play some Limbus as I am every Saturday, and I have a question for you all. Is anyone stuck on that bug that's affecting the community right now? That's affecting the game? I was tipped off on a way around it by my good old coach Mons10, who, keep your eyes out for Mons10. He is going to be, oh dang, this shit again. See, even because I backed out and did this to demonstrate, you have to do the 22 bytes of data thing. Yeah, Coach Mons10, my coach Mons10, my dude who is my guide in YouTubing, and he is my Virgilius in the world of YouTubing and Limbusing.
옛날부터 3시간 이상의 수면을 취하면
There he is, everyone.
자연스러운
check him
현상인
out.
줄 알았는데
Okay,
모든 분들이 그렇지
so what you want to do now? Sorry, I had the other music running for some reason. What you want to do now is do not click any of the tabs down there. Do not click any of these tabs down here. That is where the problem's gonna happen. You wanna wait to click an event over here in the bottom corner. And you can go directly to it. If you want to drive or anything, you can back out here.
옛날부터 3시간
no.
이상의 수면을
Actually,
취하면
specifically you
저절로
want to
눈이
do
떠지곤 했어요.
Mirror Dungeon. There you go, because when you back out of the Mirror Dungeon, you get this screen, and then you can select everything. But I don't think I can even look at my sinners right now. I'm on stream. I'm getting this thing on the roll. I don't think I'm gonna even bother clicking to look at Team Week T. But yes, here we go, everyone. Let me catch up with chat. Hello to Fish Dragon Void, Knight of Despair Gaming, and good old Mons10. We also have Earl King Heathcliff hovering around here. Hi, welcome. Glad that you can join us. Okay. I have completely tuned out of the community. I have not watched anything. I don't know what is coming or how this is going to work aside from the, promotional videos that everybody has seen. So, let's go. The Family Hierarch's Proof. This is it, right? Oh, and it's not going to be voice acted because it's the latest Intervallo. That's okay. Let me sip some water. The hall was chill with a tense air. And those present sat in complete silence. Then there was Xichun, with her lips slightly curled into a mirthless sneer. That's right, she did something with Balchai at the end of last time. And at the center of it all sat Xichun, unsure of what to say next. Well, everyone. Xichun, seated next to the hierarch seat upon which Xichun sat, smoothly takes control of the situation and begins the assembly. Honored heads of houses, lords of each family, their proxies, members, and... She nods slightly, acknowledging our awkward presence. And little Xichun's guests, who stay here at our H-Corp, seems to be extending without a foreseeable end. Isn't she technically from Q-Corp? What's up with her acting like she's any less of an outsider than we are? Yeah, and did everyone catch that our H-Corp? Regardless of everything else, the fact that she hijacked the meeting from the get-go is ridiculous, especially with Xichun, the family hierarch herself, presiding over this official assembly. Clearly, she is using the pretense of assisting the hierarch to assert her own dominance over these proceedings. As we are all aware, venerable former Jamu has always discussed with and confided in me about the matters of the greatest import, the momentousness of which steered the very course of H-Corp's prospects. Even after I departed the family for Q-Corp, venerable former Jamu has always written missives to confer such matters with me. Something about it smelled suspicious, but we'd already missed the window to challenge her to present us with proof without breaking decorum. Thus, as it naturally follows that I would be the inheritor of the venerable Jamu's will, I shall be presiding over this regular assembly, which we convene now to discuss and determine the future of H-Corp. What a grandiose and self-important introduction. It seemed clear to me that she considered herself to be the main character of this scene, or something. Your grace certainly befits your station, Lady Xichun. We are all impressed by your utmost dedication to the citizenry of Hongyuan, despite your already saturated schedule. Ooh, I love her getup. Beautiful. Hey, it's this dude. Xichun, who we encountered in the Hierarch trial. We can hardly thank you enough for your magnanimity, Lady Xichun. Ah, my parents, a true shame that they couldn't be here, have always sung praises of your expertise, Lady Xichun. And Wang Zhao is here. Hey, Wang Zhao, he's so cute. Responses from the participants are just as protracted, only obsequious instead of arrogant. Obsequious? That's one word I haven't seen in a long, long time. Yeah, obsequious. Obsequious. I am saying it right. Okay, I guess I said it right. Their vacuum was filled by their children's generation, many of whom we had the pleasure of meeting during the family Hierarch War. Very well. Then, shall we? Welcome Xichun, the next person to sit upon the seat of Hongyuan's family hierarch. Greetings, I am... Oh, you bitch! Now, let us begin. Don't even let her do her introduction, huh? For many years, all those who have gathered here have toiled day and night for the eternal prosperity and growth of H-Corp. Stare deep. Zhao Xichun's expression immediately sours as Xichun unceremoniously cuts off her self-introduction. First on the agenda for this assembly are urgent discussions and passage of new major policy items that have been tabled for far too long. Distributive contribution rights auctioning policy, quarterly amnesty policy. Hold on, big sister Xichun. Passing the distributive Oh my man. Oh my gosh, he has opinions. Passing the distributive contribution rights auctioning policy would allow the open auction for any remaining rooms the day before reconstruction days, and the quarterly amnesty wouldn't do anything but give unfair advantage to certain families and high net worth individuals by guaranteeing them large real estate assignments regardless of their performance in the previous quarter. Zhao Xichun stutters a little, flustered, before continuing. My point is, these policies are going to rattle H-Corp's economy the moment they go into effect. Besides, these policies were pretty much drawn to favor lining the pockets of a select few families and high-ranking officials of H-Corp. If I may, venerable hierarch, lining the pockets? That is quite an odd turn of phrase to refer to the bare minimum of respect the society might pay to its highest contributing members, don't you think? Oh, before we continue, Xichun, I'm not entirely certain if you are aware, but ever since the ascension of the new family hierarch, the perceived value of Hongyuan has been racing to the, for lack of a better word, rock bottom. Clearly, this demonstrates Hong Yuan's concern and its lack of faith in the newly appointed family hierarch. Therefore, it naturally follows that our most urgent task at hand is to put a stop to this value and reputation freefall, and restore prosperity and greatness to Hong Yuan once again. Oh, look at her intense dark gaze. Her eyes are so light pink, it's so freaky. Xichun's are a similar pink, but more saturated. Yeah, okay, and that's the family hierarch's job, right? Why are you... If you had perused H Corp's Articles of Association, you would have known that. A sneeze isn't Sneeze! Excuse me. Oh my gosh, that was a sudden and vicious sneeze. Holy shit, it worked. Thank you so much. I can actually play the game. Hey, congratulations, Night of Despair Gaming. I'm glad you were able to get around it. Glad I was able to actually help some people. Glad I was able to be useful while streaming for once. Oh my gosh. Why? Why a sneeze attack? Okay, I am under attack. We are under attack. By sneezes. Okay. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Hello, Scrap. Hi, welcome to the chat. Welcome. If you had perused H Corp's Articles of Association, you would have known that, should H Corp be deemed to be in a state of crisis, the four great houses and the Board of Directors' voice may also carry de facto power in the Assembly. And the Board of Directors, that's us, has determined that we are now in a state of crisis. State of crisis? What crisis? Everything that led to my ascension to the family hierarch was legitimate, down to the final approval. Yeah, Scrap, it's been a while since we saw you. Welcome. These unseemly rumors and slander are tanking our value, which we have built up assiduously through years upon years of toil. So, what is this if not a state of crisis? And who wouldn't doubt the new family hierarch's qualities when this decline has coincided precisely with her ascension? Xichun was somehow turning the room against Xichun, without presenting a single shred of evidence, portraying her as some burdensome hierarch who was single-handedly tanking H Corp's value. I hate it. I hate it. I've been through similar situations and corporations before in my line of work. No one in the Assembly, not a single representative from any families present, stepped up to point out how Xichun's swift actions were what finally repelled the outside forces that had marched right up to Hong Yuan's front yard. Oh, geez. Yeah, I've been working at a place that has been in a state of crisis, and it's not nice. Or how she deftly maneuvered her forces to quell the embers of war by quickly taking control of the chaos within Daguanyuan. She hadn't shown any glaring signs of incompetence since her ascension, despite her relative inexperience, but... Everyone in Hong Yuan's board of directors, the heads of each family, averted their eyes as though all of that had somehow, inconceivably, slipped their minds. So, you take yourself to be a qualified individual for that responsibility, Xichun? Very well. Then proceed. We're all waiting for you to begin your briefing before the Assembly regarding the last 30 years' quarterly net revenue records for Hong Yuan's singularity-related business, your calculations on next year's fiscal debt forecasts, and the exact recipe and variation numbers for the boluses that have been registered in the last 5 years. That's, The Venerable Hierarch has not received that data prior to the meeting. You must all be aware of the chaos that followed the Ascension. We are still indexing all available materials, too. Isn't that funny? Not once in the history of Hong Yuan has the family hierarch ever failed to provide immediate and detailed answers regarding Hong Yuan's historical statistics, because she doesn't have the anamnesis worm. Because she didn't have all of that immediately downloaded into her brain. Xichun must have known all along, too. She must have known how the previous family hierarchs are all directly supplied with an immense repository of information through the Zhanhuang worm, or something of the equivalent. And she's using it to target Xichun's weakness, knowingly asking questions she, the first family hierarch without the Anamna worm, couldn't possibly answer. The responsibilities tied to the venerable seat of the hierarch, Jiamu, are matched only by the great power bestowed upon it. Thus, how are we to leave the matters of the wing to someone who is so evidently unprepared for the task? Jiamu literally means house mother? House mother. I guess Jiamu was a title after all. Given the present circumstances, our hands may be forced to call to vote the motion of no confidence. No! Worst case scenario! Motion of no confidence! The motion of no confidence? The motion of no confidence! A motion of no confidence, when passed by the high-ranking political officials, can result in the removal of the chief executive from office. So they're going after Xichun's power. Have a lovely night, Night of Despair Gaming. Thank you for hanging out. I'm glad you were able to get some information from this. Otis time. So this is the picture Jia Yuanchun wanted to paint. Impotent family hierarch stammering and stumbling through her first meeting, and the total and near unanimous lack of support from the H-Corp board of directors. Whatever jargon they're on about. Seems to me they've got not an ounce of respect for the last or us. Nope. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Never trust twats overly obsessed with numbers and optimizations. They'll be the first ones to kick you out the moment they no longer see you as useful. And how? That's so true. You're not the only one who's pissed off, so can you please stop shaking your leg for a second? You don't need to make our frustration any more obvious, you know. Ooh, his body language always betrays him. My ass would have left the chair long ago if it weren't for this, lass. In H-Corp, should the board of directors unanimously vote in favor of the motion, certain parts of the family hierarch's powers will be removed. It is entirely possible that she will become a hierarch in name only. Then who would be regent? I think I know. I think we all know who would rule as regent. Oh, so they're threatening to fire her unless she falls in line. This is some needlessly convoluted way to... Yuan-chun. The assembly will now consider the motion of no confidence. Are there any objections to bringing the motion of no confidence against family hierarch Jia Xichun to the floor? Hold on! The vote of no confidence isn't an item you can invoke so lightly! The Shi family has no objections. Let's say the Wang family has no objections either. She family too. Yeah, Balchai's been brought in line. The arrest of the previous family head seems to have changed precisely nothing. Those in power wore more youthful faces, but their tongues still carry the same old resistances to change. The new family heads were just as uncooperative as ever, and everyone seemed to be solely interested in staying in Josh Yuanchun's good graces. New faces, same old. And needless to say, Heathcliff wasn't the only sinner fuming with rage. 'Tis far too vexing to simply watch and do not. Right? I knew you wouldn't let this slide, Don Quixote. You're walking all over Xichun like she's not even here. Forsooth, we cannot let such injustice transpire unabated. Hey, seems like we're both on the same page. That's it. I'm not gonna hesitate to make myself heard again. This time, I want to be courageous. With your help, Don Quixote. Come on, let's do this together, okay? Very well. I'm in agreement. Yeah, then let's go on 3 at the same time. If there are no objections, 1, 2, the assembly will put this resolution to vote in a month, and 3. Here, objection! Bloody hell. Oi, have you gone mental? Sinclair stood tall, at the center of the entire room's undivided astonishment. Alone, he's really doing it. He's being so brave right now, my boy. Don Quixote, still firmly in her seat, gazed upon Sinclair's proud stand and rubbed her nose. Young Sinclair, thou hast evolved indeed. What an unmitigated pursuer of justice thou hast become, with such unrelenting fervor and utter disregard for decorum. Certainly, mine efforts have finally borne fruit. What the hell? Did Don Quixote or Heathcliff suddenly rub off on you or something? No, wait, no! What happened to their Don Quixote? What happened to objecting together? Oh? I had taken thy suggestion to mean that we must voice our dissatisfaction through the official channels, borrowing the titles of the illustrious Red Gaze in the Department of LCC. Disputes and succession of power on such a high level of government are hardly ever resolved with rash grandstanding. Wouldst thou not agree? It's surprisingly grounded for you, Don Quixote. Ooh, why are you normal all of a sudden? Lad, what just happened? What happened to the clammy, meek boy? Well, that's... I guess I just assume that this is how Limbus Company rolls now. There seems to have been an unexpected outburst from Xichun's guest. Withdraw your objection, and we will consider this a momentary loss of control and not enter it as an official statement. Oh, it's gonna be an official statement, baby. It was, Sinclair's eyes were shaking like someone with his life on the line. If not, I take it that you have full confidence in her abilities. So please, I encourage you to elaborate. When and how will Xichun demonstrate her aptitude for the responsibilities of the family hierarch? His voice continues to shrivel into a corner. No, Sinclair, you can say something? He can't. And how could anyone? How could anyone, when we all had a very clear view of her path to ascension? During the family hierarch evaluation, Zhao Baoyu donated the coins he received from Xichun to you. Essentially, you pity-partied your way to victory. Pity-partied? We were deemed worthy by him, excuse me. And for your ascension, Xichun and those outsiders from an upstart company had to, almost literally, carry you to the seat. Has there ever been a single victory attained by your own hands in that entire process? Oh, who is this? Ah, but have we not all been witnesses to the qualities she exhibited during the family hierarch evaluation and her own ascension? You must have no shame. Snaking your forked tongue in the audience of both heaven and earth like an unwitting buffoon. Only Xichun can say something like that. That's when quiet, even footsteps broke through Jia Yanchun's merciless dismantling of Jia Xichun. Oh no, it was Zhigong. Yet I see the point. The hierarch with her grace. Yeah, Xichun wouldn't have been that strongly worded. The hierarch with her grace needs only demonstrate her already established qualifications before all. This is no place for an outsider to speak. But proceed. Just how will she prove herself before us? One odd statement coming from a fellow outsider who's been chattering for minutes on end. Forgive me. I could only presume from your verbosity that the right to speak in this forum was open to all outsiders. Ooh, girl! You tell her! If I could snap right now, I would, but fun schmuppy fact, I can't snap, it just feels wrong in my hands. You have said it yourself, no? That the vote of that the vote on the no confidence resolution will proceed in a month. That's seems to give the venerable hierarch a month to regain the trust of each family. What? It is rather clear to me that there are many who find their own defeat in the family hierarch war difficult to accept. Such a doubt is easily resolved. A match between clans should lay out the results quite obviously. Very well. A fair challenge between clans, which would preclude the participation of the family hierarch's Heisho packs and the Jialan guards. Why did I say guards? Call the guards! Call the guards. So you would remove her Paul and Ju before the game even begins. Why not make this test a series of sparring matches in both academia and martial arts, if such is the case? Oh, you can't snap either? Interesting! It could just be that you don't know how, though. Oh, I see. Let me try to snap. I'm almost snapping! Ow! It feels weird in my joints! I can't do it. Oh. Paul and Ju before the game even begins. Were these the Chinese names of chess pieces? I know that the rook is traditionally a chariot. Or is she just speaking more metaphorically than that? Huh. What audacity. Do you truly have that much faith in Xichun's abilities? You must know the consequences of failing these matches, no? It will be a unanimous, one-sided end to the vote of no confidence. And naturally, any and all rights appertaining to the family hierarch shall be transferred to the board of directors. That is fine by us. You are free to choose any champion you see fit. Unfortunately, your underlings don't seem to share your inflated confidence. But in the midst of the confused, flabbergasted silence from the other sinners, a clear, carefree, yet defiant voice rings out. Hong Lu's retort. Hong Lu, what do you have to say, my buddy? That's not true at all, big sister Yanchun. We actually have just as much confidence in Xichun as she does. His wide eyes stare directly and unblinkingly into Yanchun's. It occurred to me that this might be his way of expressing anger. Repeated child. How dare he stare me down like that? Then you are welcome to try. 1 month. You have but 1 month to prove before all in audience that she is indeed fit to be the family hierarch. Should you fail, the vote may as well be a mere formality. In other words, should she successfully prove herself, none of you shall again rightly challenge the independent rights and powers bestowed upon the family hierarch. The consequences of such a recalcitrance would be no different from those that the traitors are facing, wouldn't you agree? Well then, we will excuse ourselves now. Wait, hi. Qigong turns around towards us with that same mysterious smile and slowly directs us outside the assembly hall. We may call them sparring matches, but you must know that each and every one of them is a test to prove your claim to the seat of the family hierarch. A month is a time far too brief for drastic improvements, regardless of for whom it may be. Learning from a proper master for 10 months straight may teach you a few things, but who knows how long the search for one such master might take? Not to mention the official channels through which you must bring them past Da Guanyuan's walls, which may take up to 2 months. Why not relent now, and relinquish but a part of your powers as the family hierarch to the board of directors? It seems that this fellow outsider's mental faculties are impressively lacking. Oh, fully insulting her intelligence now. My lord has spoken in the past that, when in the presence of 3 people, at least one of them is bound to be a teacher of mine. And here they are, aren't they? Xichun's masters. each carrying something new to teach her. All 13 of them. Huh? That's us! Zhigong gestured confidently toward the flabbergasted sinners, and the assembly came to an end. Oh my gosh, what's everybody gonna be teaching? What's everybody's specialty? Taking a sip of my tea. 12 teachers. Okay. Just a second, everyone. I should assemble modules, because we're gonna level up soon. There we go. You think that many? That many? No, it's just gonna get... It's good. It doesn't matter, really. We were planning to train Xichun anyway, but it seems that we are now under an unexpected deadline. Hey, when you said the LCB was going to help me out, did you guys mean that you were going to publicly humiliate the crap out of me at the assembly? Of course not, Xichun. Big sister Yanchun's an old snake. You've just given her 30 days to set the perfect stage for my downfall. To prove to the world once and for all that I'm not qualified at all to be the family hierarch. But Xichun, weren't you always so good at humbling anyone who dared underestimate you? Not so much anymore. Back then, like an idiot, I thought I just had to hold on with everything I had. I thought that's all I ever had to do. But now... Now... Things are different. It's true that I'm vastly underqualified to be the family hierarch, and... She's right. I pretty much lucked into this position. Xichun, don't tell me that woman's bullshit actually got to you. Well, she wasn't completely wrong, right? Hey, snack report, waffles and some chips. That's a lot of carbohydrates together. Waffles and some chips, but I wouldn't turn it down if I were offered it. I'm just some kid who happened to be just good enough to survive some traps and ambushes. I'm afraid that the responsibility of a family hierarch might be too much. Her self-confidence has significantly decreased compared to the observation from our previous interaction. The heck, Xichun? I don't remember you being this kind of character. Oh, Rhodia, I love you. What happened to the girl who looked down on us the moment we met? You even had the audacity to pretend to not know who we were, didn't ya? Where'd all that confidence go, girl? It actually got under her skin back then, huh? So, Xichun, what do you want to do? Are you sure you're okay with this? Are you okay with letting this happen? If I let it happen, Big Sister Yanchun's going to continue expanding her influence here. I'm sure she and the board of directors have been cozying up to each other for a long time. Is the implication that her testaments on her influence were true? Yep. It's true. Before she left Q Corp, Big Sister Yanchun used to always accompany Jiamu to these assemblies. If we just let them hold the vote of no confidence, they're going to unanimously vote against me and slowly reduce the family hierarch's scope of power, and who knows, they might even call for a reevaluation, however unlikely that sounds. Oh no, to go through the war again? Besides, Big Sister Yanchun, I think your definition of Hong Yuan's prosperity might be different from mine. The whole board, really. What she's looking for isn't H-Corp's prosperity, it's Da Guanyan's. And I know that this all has something to do with its ties to Q-Corp, which, I bet, has already been going on for a while just under my radar. sure they've already had plenty of talks behind my back. Which is not the kind of vision you have for Hong Yuan's future, right? And that's why you spoke up against her. My vision for Hong Yuan is... I want to change H-Corp to be the kind of place where people can live without fear. Good. A noble goal. Stop the rearrangements or whatever. That's a big source of fear. I just never imagined I'd have to prove myself like this, and in only 30 days. Even then, your vision hasn't changed, right? It hasn't. Great, great! So it's decided then, huh? We just need Fao to deliver some bad news to Sode. So, to summarize, the responsibility of training Xichun to win these matches, I mean these amorphous tests upon which hinges the family hierarch's fate, and almost every facet of which is entirely under Jia Yanchun's control, by the way, and is probably a trap, within the next 30 days is ours. We have to explain that to Sode. Wow, that sounds like a lot of work when you put it like that. Hi, Keen Ice. Welcome. How's it going? It's going well. Are you aware that there's a bug going on in the menu that is keeping people from playing today? We worked around it, and it's good. We're doing good today. Postmortem reports have become quite rote. Sometime later. Prithee, thou must impress upon the illustrious red gaze that 'twasn't mine idea this time. Sinclair stared blankly at Don Quixote as she made her desperate plea towards Sode. Yes, and I understand that as well. For the 8th time. As always, Sode was wearing the same refreshingly incomprehensible smile. Hi, that Persona guy. Welcome to chat. That bug is making sure we get free 300 lunacy. Who wants to bet right now that we're going to get over 300 lunacy for that bug? I bet it's going to be over 300 lunacy. I need that. I am completely broke, and the Arknights collab is coming up. The kind of smile that makes people increasingly anxious the longer it lasts. A dissecting smile. A dissecting smile. Well, that gives us about 30 days, during which those sparring matches, tests, whatever, will be happening as well. Great. Then let's give it our best. Sinclair mutters in a near whisper, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Yes, I understand. I never should have stepped out of line like that. Something just... Yeah, so let's give it our best. I totally agree. We messed everything up again and what? Limbus Company was always going to remain here and assist Miss Jia Xichun acclimatize herself to the responsibilities of the family hierarch. It was always a part of our plan. Well, I sure am glad that I took Faust's advice about how meticulous planning is completely pointless when it comes to LCB's missions. I never would have had to submit 9 separate disciplinary incident reports back during the J-Corp incident, had I known that this was just going to be the new normal. I believe I should be able to explain this further. Prior to his departure, my lord was concerned that such a thing— oh yes, he left! That's right, he left. He left the area. Jia Chu has left the building. Prior to his departure, my lord was concerned that such a thing would come to pass. That is why he has left Xilu and I here to look after the new family hierarch's position. Oh yeah, Xilu, which must still be on rather thin ice. Oh, so that's what they were privately talking about when he pulled them aside. Doing nothing and allowing her wicked machinations to progress would have irrevocably made the entire board of directors naught but putty in Yanchun's hands. And that would have led that snake to de facto assume the seat of the family hierarch. Against such an insidious foe who wields intrigue as her weapon, the most viable strategy is the most direct one, to challenge her head on. Not gonna lie, Jachu 5-Mong gentle staff slide would have been very helpful right about now. Yes, the gentle, quote-unquote gentle head exploding slide. Whose head would you want to explode? Just go ahead and run right up to the current, what's her name? Xichun, and bonk her head off in the middle of it? That would be lovely. That would be a lovely ending. 4. This is also a prime opportunity for Jia Xichun to further solidify her influence here, depending on the outcome of the vote of no confidence. They have played right into our hands by accepting this deal. So, I don't want to rain on everyone's parade, but are we not even going to consider what might happen if we fail? No, we are not. Because you will not fail, not with us aiding your efforts. Also, were you serious back there when you said that we were all going to teach Jia Xichun? All 12 of us? I won't object to selecting only a few of us with better aptitudes to be educators. By the way, we have already an established internal hierarchy based on the sum of each of our abilities. Of course, the results weren't entirely to my satisfaction due to an unexpected incident. Miss Otis, that is statement mired in narrow vision rife with factual refractions. I am of the stance that the qualities of a good teacher are defined not by such statistics. So you must be the one who placed last in that scale. Oh! Immediately read for filth. Oh! This girl. She is hardcore. She is vicious. She does not pull her punches. Just don't say anything, bud. Best not to stand out like a sore thumb. I may have overreacted then. My lord has said that, from the virtuous we may learn to replicate their merits, from the flawed we may learn to avoid their failings. As long as the student is willing to learn, anyone, anything can be a teacher. I also, to embrace this teaching, seek from all those who we come across. Just what in the heavens are you doing? Who is scribbling? I am preparing a lesson for young Xichun, our family hierarch. Wow, you sure got on that fast. So what are these yellow wormy things here? Aha! 'Tis a star! Twinkle twinkling in its radiance. According to the schedule you have prepared, the student would have -3 hours available for sleep. This lesson plan's execution will require cooperation from T-Corp. 'Twould be a mistake most fatal indeed. I shall correct it post-haste. Full schedule. What were you scheduling over 24 hours of lessons? Does this creature even sleep? Qigong was staring at Don Quixote's expression of her wild artistic merit upon the curriculum with her usual crescent-mooned eyes. Wait, is that supposed to be Qigong's grimace? Of course. Each to their own, I suppose. I need not be shaken by every little thing until we have their actual lesson plans in hand. Hey, thanks for putting your faith in us, Qigong. We barely have any of that to go around ourselves, so I understand it couldn't have been easy. Faith in us? We don't even got faith in us. You could say I have learned my lesson. The recent events have taught me that the path of learning is truly one without end. All right. What is next? Another student. When do we get to start playing the thingy? Another student. I see that you have all individually worked on your lesson plans as per Qigong's requests. Out of her bandages and stuff. Look at her. 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 Still got her weapon at her back. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. She's so cute. She's got got a little bunny. What is that? What is that? Texturing? Is that stitching? Is there a face on the bunny? I can't tell. That looks very comfy. Oh my gosh. Jilu, we get to feast our eyes upon this? I've received a total of 12 lesson plans. Hold on. Shouldn't there be 13 of them? Even the executive manager has decided to spare their precious time to teach a class. Yeah. I handed in my lesson plan too. That is because, oh, her piercing yellow eyes stand out so much. Her piercing yellow eyes, singular I should say. We got bangs over the other. So who didn't do their homework? After a brief silence, everyone turned around and looked at one of the sinners. Voted most likely to not do their homework. It ain't me. Oh please, at least try to make a compelling argument. Who else other than you could it possibly... It's me. You think? You've been acting out of character a lot recently. What's going on? Well, that's, Sinclair was drenched in sweat for some reason. Actually, I... In Sinclair's seat was a large stack of papers, each filled to the brim with writing. Sinclair, are these papers... Whew, I'm done. Sorry, I got too into making a lesson plan and just couldn't stop myself from writing. Whew, what are you planning to teach about? Sinclair couldn't have appeared more proud as he placed that big bundle of sweat-soaked papers in Shilu's hands. And it's sweaty. Ew, they're all sticky. Do you know, have you all ever experienced when it's like humid out and a piece of paper just soaks up the moisture and just feels leathery and wet, even though there's no water or anything poured on it? Do you know that feeling? I imagine they feel like that. And she receives it with mild trepidation. You seem to have dedicated quite the momentous effort in drawing up this lesson plan. What's up with her? Let's start reviewing from the first of the stack. 108 analytical approaches to an aesthetics AAA. What does AAA mean? And how do you plan to explore all 108 approaches in a month? Appreciation of artistry and assassinations. Appreciation of artistry and assassinations. Oh! Learning from Ryoshu! F.U. went too far. Oh, right! Sorry! Flip a page and continue reading for those 108 approaches. What paint did you use? It's quite viscous and the paper is partially melted. What? Wow, lady, watch yourself! You almost got some on my arm! A painting? Xilu? Entrails coating the world! Now you know how aesthetics appreciate the artistry of slaughter. Just what the hell did you paint in that paper? Hey, get it together! Xilu stumbled briefly. Whatever was on the paper must have given her quite the shock. My mind wandered for a moment. This is too dangerous to be used for a lesson. Thus it goes to the discard pile. Literal cognito-hazard, brain-damaging art Ryoshu has made. Weak sauce. Oh my gosh! What is up with the... Are you learning from the youths, Ryoshu? Xilu crumbled up the paper without hesitation and tossed it out of sight. Next. Intro into Societal Reintegration. Impressive title. Chapter 1. How to shake hands with your left hand when the situation calls for it. Huh? Chapter 2, Exploration of Exclusively Long-Sleeved Fashion and Practices. Chapter 3, Projecting Confidence and Why Having a Bug Arm is Totally Cool. That's, you know how it is. Be proud of who you are. All that philosophy stuff. I wanted this lesson to give a bit of a paradigm shift where we can all come to see our flaws not as failings, but as evidence of our individuality. Which will usher in a world where we can carry on with our lives no matter what kind of arm we have. Discard. Next. In the trash. Out. I see now that the first one we really went through was Ryoshu's. I thought because we went from Sinclair's right into that it was Sinclair's, but no, that was Ryoshu's mind-bogglingly gory art. Xichun quickly flipped through the pages. Intro to Denigrative Linguistics? Subheading, The Power of Words. Sticks and stones may break their bones, so let's add words to the pile. My credentials include the ability to dress down an opponent so hard that they fall to their knees and beg me to stop. Oh, wow! I have plans for application as well. The lesson teaches methods pertaining to disguising compliments and criticisms and vice versa. All of this seems rather difficult to learn. I have concluded from my hitherto observations that Xichun is an individual of great promise in this field. Follow my instructions to a T, and I guarantee you that this cadet shall be able to have the upper hand in any verbal confrontations. She's seriously contemplating the How to Be a Bitch class. Is this a curriculum to make the best brawler or the best family hierarch out of me? Xichun seemed quite interested, but Xichun's vehement veto eventually overruled this suggestion. On Justice. Another impressive title. This is Dawn's, isn't it? Subheading, Methodologies of Captivating an Entire Room of Preoccupied Audience. Discard. Yummy! Wherefore? Next. Praxis of ego-splitting concerning inter-mirror conflict between the self and the reflection, and paradoxically fractured theory of idealism in which one attempts to open an unopening door to open the door. Huh? Utterly incomprehensible. Discard. Perhaps Miss Ryoshu's advice to truncate the lesson title should have been taken in earnest. Survival and Exploration. Oh, this has got to be Ishmael's. 21 reasons to pay attention when the exploration team leader is giving advice on the upcoming adventure. Case study for 30 horrible mistakes that occurred because the team was distracted during the leader's lecture. Exactly. This is totally Ishmael, the pamphlet reader. Also, you know, in her initial promo art illustration and on her Sinner badge, I think she is wearing outdoor gear. I guess she hikes. How to track down a troublemaker who tries to sweep trouble under the rug when the team leader isn't looking. Someone ignored my advice. Someone ignored my advice that we should have been moving 2 steps ahead. Finally, I've narrowed them down to 3 culprits. Wait! I forgot to take that part out! And into the shredder it went. Oh my gosh, Don Quixote's lesson! That's a very valuable lesson on justice! It's Godzilla! Godzilla is just. Godzilla is righteous. When did that paper shredder get here? The art of using yawning as a cover for popping a cookie or 2 into your mouth, especially useful when getting lectured. Hey, if you get good enough at it, you can do that with nuts too. Haha, so it was you who made those crunching noises in our last meeting. What? Nah, do you take me for an amateur? The art of societal maneuvers. How to let it flow through you. How to not make things awkward when you walk right in on someone bad-mouthing you. The most important part of this art is to flash a refreshing smile in a way that looks earnest. It helps when you convince yourself that smiling is what brings good fortune. Oh my gosh. I cannot keep up with all these lesson plans, everyone. This is a lot. This is a lot. Hong Lu. Hong Lu. How to smile your way through it. Fake it till you make it. The lesson. Smiles have a way of disarming people, giving them pause and making them hesitate. It's true, like the smile that he completely stared down Xichun with. It can pierce through people. It can make people go, "Oh no, I've been read." Or it can make them relax. It can disarm them. I remember that. Big Bro used that technique to confuse a lot of Dogyuan people who hated him. I see. This. I can't quite bring myself to throw this into the shredder. Next, how to remain in complete stillness for a week until the next command is received. Merceau? This lesson plan was designated based on Rodion's advice that I must prioritize strengths that are unique to myself. Look, in my defense, I didn't know he considered that to be his unique strength, okay? Do you retire to a coffin every night? Do you seal yourself within a coffin every night or so? Let us consider whether standing in complete stillness for a week is a quality one might seek in the family hierarch. This one is certainly interesting. What separates bravado from bravery? Jack shite. Saw it off and grab your weapons. Yep, always gotta read the full print. Ha! It's my philosophy that reason don't necessarily need to be considered before coming to blows. Martial prowess is indeed an indispensable part of the family hierarch's qualities. But our focus is not on developing a hierarch of a syndicate. Next. Information disparity as a driver of an inequitable treatment. Oh? Huh? That's actually the most interesting sounding one so far. And the application of engineering frameworks. Okay, it's kinda losing me, but I'm still on board. For systematic resolution in rational self-interest Gesellschaft-driven societies, and... Is it still going? That was 1/5 of the full title. It seems that the same trouble has hindered both you and I, yes, the two brainiacs of the group, can't come up with a short title. Every word in that title was added for its absolute necessity. Indeed. Indeed. After she had gone through the majority of our lesson plans... Finally. Now that that's over... Yes, it's finally my turn. The big pile. Ooh. Sinclair sighed with the gravitas of someone who's just been bestowed with the most important mission in his life. Thinking back, even back in school, I used to daydream about becoming a teacher myself. I thought I could be good at it. So I guess you could say that I'm pretty happy to be given an opportunity like this. I call my lesson, The Theory on Self-Overcoming. We have to accept that everyone stumbles at first, by always striving to be a better person than I was yesterday. Hey, but what if I like who I was yesterday more? That's okay. Everyone has their own unique potential sleeping deep inside. So with everything I've learned and experienced so far, let me teach you. Let me teach you how to not doubt your own capabilities, how to always shoot higher. You've not demonstrated a lack of self-doubt to us, though. You, in front of everybody in the chamber, hesitated so hard. Hold on. You had me for a second there, but what's up with acting like you're an infinitely more enlightened person than I am? Oh, of course. I've prepared a speaking class where you can learn how to speak with modesty, too. Never would have imagined Sinclair would be this into it. Yeah, too bad he's so into it that he's not even listening to what Xichun's saying. Following that, your company's... Well, it seems that Shilu has completed her reviews. Oh, I see. Now how's everything going, everyone? Class prep going well? Is everyone behaving? My curriculum most especial! Okay, so that's a no. That was Sode's impression upon taking a quick glance at Don Quixote, who was sobbing and cradling the shredded pieces of her lesson plan in her hands. Well, it wasn't a complete bust, at least. Sinclair's lesson plan survived. Whew. Miss Jigong, Miss Sode, I've prepared a full 30 days worth of lesson plans. Would you like to take a look? But Jigong and Sode weren't looking at the dozens of lesson plans Sinclair presented so proudly before their eyes. They were looking away. Jigong especially was looking away with an unmistakable expression of pity. So he doesn't know. Would you mind explaining this, Jilu? I could not bring myself to tell him. Apologies. So, this young man produced this entire sizable stack of lesson plans all on his own. I see. Weakness has found its way into your heart in the face of such earnest effort. I understand. However, it has been decided that Sinclair will not be participating as one of Jia Xichun's teachers. Or should I call you pupil Sinclair, to be exact? This has gotta be a mistake, right? Isn't Xichun the pupil here? No, there haven't been any mistakes. My lord has specifically instructed that you are to learn from this as well. What? What? Seriously? That's right. Such is our setup. The game begins! This isn't right. His hair looks so fluffy and messy. I want to ruffle it. I want to rustle it. Guys, this isn't right. Ah, now this looks like a proper classroom. It would have felt pretty dang empty with just Xichun sitting there all on her own, don't you think? Besides, I bet Sink's the resident expert on going to schools, right? School was a luxury for me, you know? Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't mean I ever wanted to go back to school. You should learn to be grateful. I don't dole out my teachings to just anyone. Don't forget we have to redo the whole lesson plan under their supervision. Otis, you always get on your soapbox and try to lecture everyone about something after every single battle anyway. And you, Ishmael, you always get hyper-fixated on something. And once you find something interesting, you never stop talking about it for 3 hours at least, and... I will ensure that you receive the best education I can provide, Sinclair. Hold on, Yi-san! I thought we were the underdog duo! Remember during the checkup when I said we got this? We were going to get this together! The evaluation painted a twisted picture of the true scale of strength, the sole measure of which erroneously relied entirely on physical might. I shall not hesitate to impart knowledge for those who require education. He is so ready to go, Professor. Congratulations, my lady. You have found yourself a desk mate, which some also call a bestie, depending on desk placement. Besties for life, I got my bestie in the classroom. Besties for life, we're never doing it alone. Huh? Huh? Desk mate, bestie. What the heck does any of that mean? Huh? Jia Xichun's eyes widened with confusion, as though she just heard those words for the first time in her life. When I first met her when she was 16, she explained to me that she hadn't attended any school-like institutions. This is par for the course for children of Hong Yuan who are raised for the purpose of becoming the next family hierarch. The reason being that schools can be a perfect place to assassinate someone. So, desk mates and besties, Sinclair began to explain, seemingly resigned to the fact that he was essentially going back to school for a month with the other sinners as his teachers. Usually sit next to each other and help one another out. A bestie might nudge the other awake when they doze off, share their homework with one another if one forgot to do theirs. They usually end up being included in the best memories of each other's school time. Oh. So not very important at all, huh? I think I got this on my own. I don't need a bestie. It may have come a few years late, but I am moved that my lady finally has a chance at experiencing school. Same here. I remember it like yesterday. Xichun would sit and watch the other kids walk to school from a distance, tears welling in her eyes. Dude! Smack him hard in the stomach. Oh, that reminds me. One day, out of nowhere, she started saying something about eating from lunchboxes with friends. I haven't a clue as to how or where she even heard about it, but she snuck into the kitchen and... Oh, wait, don't you guys have a lesson plans to write? Come on, hurry up, 30 days are ticking down. We've only got 30 days. Of course. Fortunately, I have become quite occupied with another task of great importance, assisting Wei with indexing and reviewing various documents that are in critical need of organizing. Thus, I must leave the lesson planning task to you, Shivu, and Miss Sode. Have you any thoughts on this matter? Slacker. What was that? I said nothing. Oh man. When a kid gets an idea and starts to play around with it. Oh, little Xichun trying to play. Little Xichun trying to play lunchboxes with friends. That's such a cute idea. When I was little, I accidentally bleached my entire family's clothing I was so little that I saw people doing the laundry and I thought, I want to do that. I want to be helpful. I was so young I couldn't even read. I could barely even reach up there. And I poured a full cup of bleach into there because I wasn't sure if it was like, I didn't know it or laundry soap, laundry detergent from one another. I am so lucky I didn't like spill it on myself or hurt myself. That could have gone really, really bad. But, yeah, I accidentally bleached clothes from everyone in my family by trying to be helpful. 30 days of classes. Okay, I'm going to run and top off my water. We're going to have a break of about 5 to 10 minutes, everyone, and then we are resuming the stream. I just need more water for my throat. It's a bit hard having to voice act all of it. God, I got so invested in Silksong I forgot about the stream. Hey, no problem. I'm glad to know that you're having fun playing a game. And that's what we're here for, to share the fun of games. Whether I'm just here to be a yap in your ear or what. So, 5 to 10 minutes, everyone. 5 to 10 minutes. Grab yourself a snack. Grab yourself a drink. I need more water for my throat. And we will beat RB. You. I knew I'd find you here. You've been on the run far too long, Space Cadet. Hand over the stickers. They were under your hat this whole time. Well, your reign of terror has come to an end. Stickers for the people! Shmuppy Sticker Club is a periodical release of hand-curated stickers, this time desert-themed. Get them while you can. There's only 6 packets out there. I am on Ko-fi. returned, and I'm ready to resume the lessons. Everyone ready for learning time? Alrighty, let's go. Let's dive right into it. 30 days of classes. Look at this unique symbol, the revolving around a desk symbol. Okay, costs 0. Oh, that's why this wasn't different. It costs 0. Here. There we go. We're gonna refill in no time. Look at how close we are to leveling up to manager level 64. Welcome back, everyone. Oh, and before we get started, I have a question. I have a question for everybody in chat, every chatter out there. How did you first learn about Limbus Company? Did you find out about it just on YouTube? Are you already a dedicated gacha gamer? Were you already into Project Moon before Limbus came out? Like, what's your story? I personally got into it because I'm a big fan of Millie, and I went into it music first before I even played the game. So, what's everybody's story for how you discovered Limbus? From me, lol. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Fish Dragon tagging along with us. The sheer amount of confusion in the beginning. I forget where in the story you first joined us, Fish Dragon, but it must have been so confusing. I'm interesting that you've stuck along. It's a really interesting story. Sinclair, welcome to the chat. Hey, you ready for lesson time? You better be awake. Hope that you had something caffeinated. Jilu and Sod appear to have aged several years overnight, their faces sunken and sallow. Finally, after referencing the idiosyncrasies and various statistical data available to us regarding each center, we managed to come up with an appropriate curriculum. Miss Jilu? Apologies. Sleep deprivation has relieved me of clear mind. The path of an educator is truly a grueling one. Marching to battle would be much easier. Still, thanks to Master Jiachu's methodology you shared, we did manage to find a way to make this quite efficient. Efficient, huh? To be a true family hierarch, there are dozens, hundreds of virtues one must understand and master. However, to do so in 30 days as promised is an implausible effort. Thus, we have categorized the countless virtues into 3 supercategories. And they are called... what are these supposed to be? Ji, Yong, and Ren. Ji, wisdom. The wise lose neither people nor words. To hold one's silence in need of speech shall cost them people. To speak in need of silence shall cost them words. A reasonable sequence of logic. Yong, courage. The ability to overcome fear. To act decisively. Have too much of it and risk becoming a brute. Have too little and risk becoming a craven. It needs harmony and balance. Oh-ho. So how far are we allowed to go with corporal punishment again? I recall no instance of any discussion regarding corporal punishment. And then, humanity is the benevolence of the heart, the compass of behavior that dictates respect towards every human. Clearly, most of the faculties of the school are severely lacking in all 3 of your criteria. Just how do you think they'll be able to teach the students anything? Sinclair says a friend harassed me into playing this game. Really? How long? What canto was it when you first started, I wonder? Huh. Yeah, like a certain someone who needs a lesson in Ren. Are you sure I'm in good hands? Just what the heck am I supposed to learn here? Where's Wei? It was season 3. Oh, I see. Yeah, what's everybody else's story for how you got into Limbus Company? Did you get into it? Did you first find it on YouTube? Were you already into gacha games? Mr. Wei and Miss Jigong are currently quite preoccupied with handling the monumental task of paperwork. Ah, right. Mr. Wei wanted me to deliver this message to you. Be strong, my lady. Wei! Despite her protestations, the 30 days of classes commenced. Those are the only words Wei has to share, is be strong. Okay, here we go. Played LobCorp first somehow. Oh, I see. Yeah, I first heard of LobCorp way back when I liked SCP stuff. So we have Metaphysical Approach to Ego and the Reflected World. 3 classes of that. Okay. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew. Oh, look at his close little look at his little chibi. Look at his little chibi. I want to pat him on the head. I want to squish him. I want to bounce his head. I want to bong 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 bong. So, Xichun is represented by the fan, and Sinclair is represented by the little pew pew, the little chick. Okay. Morale, they can get demoralized. They're so cute. They are so cute. Okay. Ego in the Reflected World. This is a mandatory class. Okay, let's go. Resume classes. My name is Yisong. That is all. The class I have prepared for the day. Ah, I've heard plenty about your mirror tech, which makes me wonder, going by the level of advancement in that technology, couldn't you have approached it from a different angle? You know how technological advancement usually goes. People invent for the sake of creation, only to have their inventions inevitably warped into weapons of destruction. Indeed. You show much promise already. The struggle of the researcher. As you surmise now, the mirror has, in the past, almost been employed to shatter possibilities instead of reflecting them. I'm sure that's the angle most others wanted to see happen. Removal of potential risks sounds much more palatable than potential itself to some people, after all. Correct again. Yet, destruction was a word that bore too much suffering for my heart. My sole egress from it was abandonment of my quondam fellows and my life's work, making myself a fugitive from the past. How did you bring yourself to just abandon it all? I conversed. With who? With myself, that lies within me. As you are aware, the mirror's reflection extends beyond the veils of our own reality. It reflects the potentialities, the latent strength, and the world. Yet, even among them, the reflection of the greatest importance is that of the self. I have a hard time grasping myself. I wish I could just look into the mirror and have it reflected back at me. Let not the innumerable worlds of the mirror enchant your gaze. First, one must direct their studies inward and reflect upon oneself. Crabber says, I knew about Project Moon ever since, like, the Lobotomy Corp Alpha or Beta or something. Library of Ruins, and learn about a new PM game. But you joined it, like, after Murder on the Warp Train Express. Wow! I see. I think... Isn't that about when I started streaming, maybe? I don't know. Maybe. I was still quite behind when I started streaming. Even though I had, started playing when, like, Kanto 2 was out, Kanto 3 was just coming out. Like, Kanto 3 was fresh. Okay. I had a very precious time learning to converse with my inner self. Xichun has grown. Xi, Yong, and Ren plus 27. Oh, Sinclair has grown. That gives us a lot of Ren. That's a good Ren class. Now, if you are prepared, do explain what you see in the mirror. You needn't haste. For some reason, Xichun appeared to hesitate before the mirror. Hey, you know? It's been a while since I looked into the mirror for so long. My lady, do you recall Sun Sen of the Shi family who contacted you for a meeting? Yeah, the guy who said he was going to show me a precious flower that blooms only at night? I remember that you were vehemently against me going out there, so I stayed inside. I wonder what kind of flower it was. Don't tell me you were actually looking forward to meeting him, my lady. Of course not. If it wasn't clearly an assassination attempt, it sounds like a lovely outing. There are quite a few flowers that only bloom at night. You are wise to stay inside. Revealed that you weren't you weren't the only person who was invited. That vile man had hired a group of assassins to ambush the meeting spot and would have been waiting there to spring the trap had you gone. Yes, obvious trap. But apparently he was outplayed and had his limbs and heads torn. Ooh, he can be revived though, knowing this place. I guess. I'm glad I didn't go away. You were right. If only you still had the Wu branch under your control. Stop it. We agreed to move on from that, remember? We don't have to talk about it. Oh my gosh. I was brushing my hair and looking in the mirror as we were talking, but look at her in her lounging clothes and with her hair down. She looks so sad. She wants to be connected to people, doesn't she? I realized that I no longer recognized the girl in the mirror. I don't know why, but I just found it so hard to meet her eyes. But I brushed it off because I had to. An experience like that was going to be a common occurrence anyway, and the family Hierarch War was always looming on the horizon. Perhaps what you felt then may have been shame. But it is paramount to face oneself nonetheless. Nay, especially so if it was. And Sinclair, what do you see? I see... Well, I just see myself smiling. I don't see what's so out of the ordinary. But it seemed like Sinclair couldn't really bring himself to face the mirror. Hey, after what we just discussed, I think I understand something now. Now that I've had some quiet time looking at my reflection, I think I uncovered a part of myself I had hidden away for a long time. I learned how to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror. Awesome. Alright, more Ren. We're looking really good. Alright, very good. And our last class, so we get diminishing results longer in the day, which is natural because we get tired. Class Metaphysical Approach to Ego in the Reflected World leveled up to Expert. Awesome. Oh, Xichun slash resistance minus 22.25%. That's weird. Is that how that works? Morale. Okay, slash resistance is currently fatal. Do we take on the characteristics of the sinners that we study under? Okay. It's a little bird, but me and my partner called it an owlet because of another barn owl that we also call Sinclair. Oh, there's a barn owl you call Sinclair? Yes, he's a little chick. He's a little baby. Fresh out of the egg. Little baby. Little baby. I want to pet his head. Okay, we need to select a class for this time slot. This is a mandatory class. We can fill it in with more Yi Song, or we can add Don Quixote into it. Combo classes. Interesting. There's a lot of depth to this. Okay, so I guess we will sub in... I guess we have to sub in Yi Song right now. Be passionate and dream on. Fixer Tales. 2 classes of that. So we are on day 2. Can we get Don Quixote in that slot? Can we get Dawn in that slot? Or is she only available for 2? Mandatory class. I want to add it in, not remove it. I guess we'll go for that right now. Tis true that a station of teaching is prone to imbue one with a sense of bashfulness. Sinclair and Xichun both sat with a bit of apprehension as well. Which is understandable, given what Sode told them sometime before the lesson started. Some time ago. Don't listen to a word she has to say! Is what Sode has to say. Otis, who'd been glaring daggers at Don Quixote for a good while, finally decided to voice her doubts to Sode. So, what is Don Quixote, that woman, supposed to teach? Have you not considered that her usual flippancy might only cause more trouble than it's worth? You worry too much, Otis. While she may not look it, Don Quixote is extremely well versed in those adventure tales. And why would any of that matter? Have you yourself considered that fixers often appear when history is in the making? Huh. Oh. Hey, let us see here. Don Quixote took a second to savor the moment as though she had been preparing her whole life for it, then continued. Amongst the greatest fixers whose honored names were engraved in history, verily, let us commence this lesson with the tale of the fixer Yue Fei. This tale beginneth in the year... Sometime later. Are you... done? Just how can she continue to talk at such length? She's been going for ages. Thus cometh the time to test thy dedication to this class, and the knowledge that should naturally come with it. A pop quiz, if thou wilt. Pop quiz! When did she even find time to prepare this? The power of enthusiasm! I can assure thee, 'tis a quiz of entirely reasonable difficulty if thou hast paid attention in class. Worry thee not. Does this pop quiz have prizes? Aha, but of course! I came prepared for such inquiries. She's such a fun teacher. She's got serious Miss Frizzle vibes. For each correct answer, I shall bestow upon thee, from the very treasure chest of mine, these precious, precious fixer badges! Forsooth, I did not let a single day go by in which I did not polish each and every one of them on 3 separate occasions at the very least. I don't know. I don't really need them. Hold thine applause, for there is a bonus reward for the victor who, by the end of this match, carries more badges. Thou shalt attain the role of a protagonist in this theatrical play of my making, Fixer Chronicles, Yue Fei. 'Tis an opportunity of a lifetime. Still not really... It's not doing anything for either of us. It's still a pretty useless reward. But if you're turning this into a competition, I won't lose. Seriously? What, scared you'll lose? Is history your weakness or something? Huh. I'll have you know that I was the teacher's pet in every single history class I took. And I'll have you know that I was, no matter the subject, showered with praise from every master I ever had. Okay, if that's how you want to play it, I'll have you know that I was a prodigy in other classes too. I did great in art classes. Pretty good in math too. I was just being humble because I didn't want to steal your thunder, Xichun. Oh, then let me tell you that I was trained in the mastery of at least 10 different disciplines every single day. And on one of those days, you know what one of the masters told me? He said, "Looks like Miss Jia Xichun's finally getting a feel for how friendships close in age are forged in school." That's good. No matter how excellent her masters were, there are some experiences you just can't learn from teachers. I tick-tocked in response. "'Tis year 505. What is the historical community's consensus on the most illustrious battle that Fixer Ye Fei is said to have partaken in?" "Allow me to impart to thee a major clue. If thou hadst paid attention, as I discoursed upon the 5 pillages in which the Fixer Ye Fei was mentioned, this should not be a difficult question to answer. The honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven, who attained triumph in the Battle of Rhino Tree in the year 465, hath said what was the worst ordeal she had to face in her career. I got it. It's when she had to forge onward, despite watching her dear comrades fall one by one as they held the line to buy her time. Damn it, I was too slow. Thee, young Xichun, thou'rt incorrect. Honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven is recorded to have testified that the worst ordeal in her career was when she was forced to stand before her enemies with hair that was non-luscious, as the supply line breakage caused her regular delivery of nutritional supplements to cease. What thou hast suggested, young Xichun, was her 17th most difficult ordeal. Was she that vain that seeing her comrades die? Place that low. She's speaking like she was actually there. Thine impression is quite understandable, for I am trained in the ways of vividly regaling these tales. But most of these tales I have learned from books. Much did I anticipate an opportunity to regale these tales to such an audience, enough to study the ways of minstrels. There was a clear look of pride in her twinkling eyes. Action figures and stuff. Look at her striking poses. Time certainly flies when hearing the tales of exciting adventures. Alright, gives us Shi, Yong, and Ren. We didn't get too much from it. What was the secret technique Honorable Fixer Lysander employed in his resolution of the case of the Fey Forest? Speak its name in full. I've got it. It's the, A Summer Night Fantasia. Yet I cannot let pass such an unmotivated retelling of this super ultimate move. Hardly could one internalize the true, noble spirit of Fixers by simply reciting it with such apathy. Thou must recite the exact pose and the enunciation. You have to strike the pose? This is so goofy. Are you kidding me? This is part theater, part history class. Come on, you can do this, Jia Xichun. You can do this. This is nothing. Illusions of a midsummer night shall devour thee whole. Ooh, look, beautiful, beautifully done. Beautiful countenance, beautiful pose. Leggy, 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 leg. Summer night Fantasia. Chat, are you seeing this? She's beautiful. Thine enunciation was quite shaky upon the word illusions yet. Thou hast demonstrated sufficient courage. Thus I bestow upon thee this badge. I grow tired of this nonsense. Just how much longer are you planning to drag this on? Thus muttered the hero, then declared, I shall tear this evil storm asunder and find a place for this blade at the center of thy heart. Dante, lights, left side. Gotcha. Don Quixote, who was watching Sinclair and Xichun's two-person play, silently wiped her tears away. Bravo. Bravo. Certain minor details were missed, such as that Yefei the Fixer was left-handed, and that he had a habit of playing with a lighter in his left pocket before every duel yet. It was a wonderful reenactment indeed. I have no other critique to impart upon thee. When faced with great adversity in thine adventures, rekindle the memory of Yefei the Fixer's final duel. Remember it well. Thus cometh to an end the lessons of today. It was just for a moment, but I think I'm starting to get it. How to conduct yourself heroically and draw attention. I get why she's so obsessed with fixers. Clutched tightly in Xichun's hands were the badges Don Quixote had gifted to her. Alright, level up! Time certainly flies when hearing the tales of exciting adventures. Alright, we get the same growth every time. And then it's time for Yi Song's lesson. I had a very precious time learning to converse with my inner self. Gave us a lot of Ren, who gives us lots of courage and wisdom. Xichun gains 60 max HP, okay. Have we figured out any combinations? Okay. Understanding of city engineering and its practices. Okay, so when it's our first time, we can't slot her in. And we could only slot these in one at a time, so let's give Don Quixote that. So Don Quixote boosts morale. I think Don Quixote is a good way to end the day. This will be a good source of G. So let's see Faust's lesson. Boom. This is a component part taken from the structure that forms H-Corp. This may prove to be an opportunity to conduct an in-depth analysis on the nature of the former H-Corp singularity, which has been enduring for such a long time. Huh? You look kinda upbeat today, Miss Faust. Indeed, an opportunity to study the old H-Corp singularity is not one that comes often. As there was potential for integration into Mephistopheles, I made a request to disassemble a part of the bus's engine, but was denied. A shame. Aren't you the one who built Mephistopheles, though, Miss Faust? Mephistopheles is indeed Faust's work, but not all of it was mine. It is possible that Faust may never reveal every small detail that went into its creation. I would very much enjoy a chance to completely disassemble it, even its engines, so that it could be reassembled with my own hands. Oh! Then you would probably like My Summer Car. Faust would probably have a great time playing My Summer Car. I would love to see somebody who's good at playing Faust do a thing of My Summer Car. Are you familiar with that game? Are you familiar with that game? It showed up in my poll for what to play next. Somebody voted for it. Somebody voted for it. But it looks like the next games that I'll be playing are Slime Rancher and a solo try of Peak. Alright. Yeah, sure. Okay, engineering class. Managed to learn various detailed mechanical fundamentals about old H-Corp technology. It blew up in Faust's face, no! Oh, they gave us lots of she. So that's how it works. I think I get it. Didn't think this is how I'd get to learn more about the old H-Corp. I don't think I can do much against the Reconstruction days right now, but this knowledge will certainly come in handy when the day comes for me to gradually dismantle that inquisious thing. The day when Hong Yuan can be a place where people can live without fear. Without the fear of encroaching Reconstruction days. Without obsessively counting their rooms to see if they'll fall or not. Until Hong Yuan can be a place where you can sleep with the promise of safe tomorrows. I'm sure you'll pull it off. Oh, and I learned a lot during this lesson too, Miss Faust. Bang! And that's when it happened. It exploded in Faust's face. My gosh. Reminds me of my grandpa. The voltage must have been set too high. Repeating experiment with a different combination of fuses and wires. There was supposed to be a lesson somewhere in there, right? Alright, let's gaze into the mirror. Learned how to be more true to myself. Alright, time to top off our morale before we have even more different studies. Alright, I was completely absorbed in the exhilarating tale of fixers. I even forgot to breathe at one point. Will that get us to expert level? Oh! We got a combo. Faust and Dawn on the same day? Alright, she's now expert level. Excellent. Xichun slash resistance minus 0.25. Man, we need to... What do we do about that? Weak to slashing. I guess we need to take a break from the staring into the mirror. Gregor's War Tales. We get to hear War Tales from Greg? They're really making him do that? They wrote this curriculum for them, so that's... I don't know how much he's gonna want to do that. This is upgraded. It will boost morale. We don't need the morale boost right now. Let's do engineering for wisdom. This specializes in humanity and wisdom. Combo. Isung and Faust. Extra Ren and extra Xi. Class success rate plus 40. Okay. I'm curious if something is different when we do the expert level one. But we could level up taxidermy geniuses. Let's try that combo. Unlike some other classes, which were more on the upbeat side of things. Grim. I knew it. I knew the mood was going to be sour for this. The room's air fell grim and solemn as soon as everyone saw what Gregor had written on the chalkboard. On war. Losing a wing war leaves a much larger, longer-lasting impact than some medium-sized enterprise closing up shop. It might be too soon to talk about this, but we came pretty darn close to one recently, didn't we? Oh, I've got the resistances backwards? You're getting those from leveling up teachers. Interesting. Thank you, Crabber. We were this close to a large-scale war breaking out right here, which absolutely would have happened if Miss Xichun had failed to finish her ascension. It would have spread like wildfire, too. So, my class is going to be about what exactly happens when a war... Oh? A piece of chalk slipped from Gregor's fingers as he went to scribble something on the board. His left hand was trembling, as though the room's temperature had plummeted only for him. Man, why's it gotta... Excuse me, Miss Jilu. Is it okay if I smoke? Go ahead. You good? Are you really okay to do this, Greg? They're really making you go through this. Well, when else am I gonna get a chance to share the realities of war right to a wing chief executive officer's face, huh? Yeah. This really is your chance to make a difference, in a way. The moments that just don't come off your skin, no matter how hard you scrub at them. Hey, take a break if you need it. I'm going to listen to every word you have to say here today, no matter how long it takes. Man, do I appreciate that sentiment. Well, still though, I can't dilly-dally when Miss Xichun's got other stuff to deal with, huh? I just noticed, look at that hair tie. Greg's hair is actually quite thick, if that hair tie is what it takes to cinch it. Very thick, luscious hair. So, let's take a look at how things were at the very beginning of the Wing War. Alright, him gesturing and smoking. Now I know enough about urban and trench warfare to give an explanation of my own. Very good. That gives us courage and Bren. And that's why the smoke war fronts were mostly characterized by trench warfare. No one wanted to risk fighting in concrete jungles where they could be surrounded by enemies at all times. So everyone tried to draw each other out to an open field battle, which naturally turned into trench warfare. Of course, every wing has a different singularity, so this isn't really applicable to all classes. It's just that the former G-Corp found flat plains easier to maneuver in. I feel like Dagwan Yuan could make a pretty good use of Hong Yuan as a defensive fortress, especially with its internal structure constantly shifting around, which the Heisho know and use very well. Exactly. This should explain why they were hesitating outside Dagwan Yuan. Remember the thumb fellas? The ones we met who were going in circles? Not to mention how the Heisho all utilized the topography of Hong Yuan Yuan. Hong Yuan 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 Yuan. On and on and on and on and on and on. Very differently. Even if an outsider were to get a read on how one of the branches maneuver around Hong Yuan, as long as the 12 Heisho branches are standing, Hong Yuan is unassailable. Okay. Well, despite going into all that, I'm sure we all know what the best answer in all warfare is. Not having a war in the first place. I'll be honest, I can't stop thinking about some of the stories you've been telling us. I can't even imagine what it would have been like to have to not only witness it, but go through all of that. We did visit your fathoms, Gregor, but that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. The city was devoured in smoke, its citizens in madness. He'd always shrug off those stories as ramblings of the past, but during the war, he stood at the center of the heartless machine that was the city, its every gear calibrated to slaughterhouse precision to maximize the death of its people. There, he must have witnessed things far worse than the worst the city presently has to offer. His eyes gazed beyond the veil of the bygone past, shaking restlessly in pursuit of what was no more. Oh boy. Sorry fellas, I'm afraid I got carried away lamenting what happened, that I forgot this was supposed to be a class. I'll be sure to prep something more useful next time. No. Everything you told me really solidified my resolve. This chaos within Hong Yuan needs to come to an end soon, lest something so horrible could happen. I'm heading to my next class. Oh, wait for me! I bet that drops morale. Even after the two students had left, Gregor lingered in that room for a while, lighting up cigarette after cigarette, without erasing what he wrote on the chalkboard. Smoke soon filled the room. Oh. What an image. I wish we had gotten a piece of art for that. He left only after almost emptying the entire pack. Alright, time for engineering. Managed to learn various detailed mechanical fundamentals. Excellent. G up, Yong up. Alright, and gaze into the mirror a bit. Alright, Xichun's Jin Gang Bolus passive improved. Let's double check. Surviving Hong Yuan with Hong Lu. Okay. Combos. Do we have any other combos figured out. Confirm. Let's go for Greg and Don Quixote. How are classes going, Xichun? I'm not you, big bro. I pay attention in class. Oh, hello, Miss Dayu. She was really insistent on helping me out, even though I refused because she looked preoccupied. The moment I found out about the contents of this lesson plan, I simply could not allow him to do this alone. Looks like it's gonna be another serious class. Oh, excuse me. I burped, excuse me. Schmoop, why still fear? Not so sure why still fear. Why still fear? Because Greg... apologies for the delayed greetings. Dayu of the Lin family formally extends her greetings to the venerable Hierarch. Been a while since I heard that greeting around here. Wait, what about Big Sister Balchai? Are you sure it's okay for a Shui family bodyguard to be here? I'm no longer employed as Miss Balchai's guard. Oh, she got fired for that. Wait, don't tell me you got... Everything I did that day, including accompanying you, was under Miss Balchai's orders. Oh, okay. As for why she no longer needed my services, I don't understand myself. Yes, the political machinations of, Xichun. She suddenly let me go after the trouble was over. So, what's there for you to teach me, big bro? Your last lesson plan about not making things awkward got vetoed by Xilu, so... You could have taught me a thing or two if we were still kids, but... Come on. You spend most of your time stuck in Yi Hongyuan before leaving Hongyuan. I don't know what you could possibly have to teach me. Don't worry, Xichun. This is the one thing I think I'm pretty good at. My lesson for Xichun and Sinclair is... In clear, neat handwriting, Honglu wrote, "Surviving Hongyuan" on the chalkboard. Oh, well, I don't think I need any help in that department from you. Look, I know you've had your share of assassination attempts, big bro, but Jamu, I mean the previous hierarch and the Elders favored tripping over this. The previous hierarch and the Elders' favor sheltered you from the worst of it. She's not wrong. Back when we had to fight our way through a bunch of sweepers, weren't you also one of the handful who got assassinated? Oh, that? I was wandering the hallways because I felt like something was off about my room. Until Dante told us all to go back to our rooms, of course. Oh wait, it was my fault? You do have some intuition, I'll give you that. Looks like I'm going to have to prove myself. Dayu, would you mind preparing the thing? You have my utmost faith, but please, do practice caution. Ooh, poisoning. Sometime later, Lin Dayu appeared with 4 bowls splishing with tea before sprinkling some powder into one of them. Whoa, what's that? That's powdered wolfsbane. I see where this is going. You're going to teach me how to tell which of these bowls contain poison, right? You can stop now. I learned to recognize infamous poisons like wolfsbane when I was 7. If it was something as tame as what you are suggesting, Venerable Hierarch, I would not have been here to accompany him. Lin Dayu continued her process, sprinkling wolfsbane powder into 2 more bowls. Hong Lu, who was watching with an oddly contented expression, closed his eyes. Please mix them up, Dayu. Okay, wait, what? We stared in confusion, but we could hardly tell what was going on with the speed at which Lin Dayu swapped around the bowls. When we looked back at Hong Lu, there were 3 silver spoons in his hand. Those silver spoons were custom made at Daguan Yuan's request, a must-have item for children of the four great houses. They can detect non-sulfuric poison as well. Oh, speaking of things like this, I learned that, animal bezoars, like the gallstones of oxen and other big animals, would traditionally be worn by important people as a necklace that they would dip in things to prove that they weren't poisoned. Because the bezoar would react with it and would have a telltale indicator, would like change color. A bezoar is, you know, a gallstone. It's like a hardened ball of secretion that looks kind of like a brownish tan big pearl, and they're used in Chinese traditional medicine. Apothecary Diaries, if you've not watched it, you've got to watch that anime. All of this, that's what reminded me of the bezoar and that stuff. Yeah, I know. They're actually what? It's nothing. In Hongyuan, where we are beset by threats of assassination from all directions, knowledge alone isn't enough to save you. What the heck are you? But Honglu opens his eyes before Xichun can finish her sentence. Then he throws the silver spoons in his hands like throwing pins toward 3 of the bowls, and immediately chugs the 4th bowl, which he hadn't thrown a spoon at. Holy crap, are you insane? You barely even checked them for... Shiden's Noor tea is always delicious, even when cooled. I have some Noor in, do I have Noor? No, I have Puer, not Noor. The 3 silver spoons Honglu had cast earlier were slowly melting away after quickly becoming tarnished black. Yep, that's how they react. Is wolfsbane poison supposed to melt through metal? People like to be thorough with their poisons in Daguan Yuan. Since everyone's been trained for immunity since childhood, you have to make a mixture of various poisons to have a real effect. Fine. I don't even want to argue. What's your secret? I want to know too. Do they sound different or something? I just went with my hunch. So this is intuition training. Just a hunch. How are we supposed to learn that? We're not Heathcliff, you know. You'll get the hang of it after a few tries. I'll help you out. Shall we begin with 2 bowls? I saw right through every assassination method Honglu prepared. Alright. That gives us wisdom and humanity, but we don't have a good source of courage yet. I see. When you say you just avoided whatever felt wrong with a hunch, you are reflexively identifying the threat by reading the room and connecting it to your intuitive experiences. You were using Miss Dayu's anxious breathing to cue you in. So this is how you managed to survive for so long. Listen carefully, Xichun. I know that the adepts of each Heisho will come to your aid with the flick of your wrist. And I know that your residence, Nanjiang Wu, will be engineered by the best craftsmen to become a safe fortress stocked to the brim with all kinds of useful boluses to protect your life. Even still, there will come a day when you start to feel this creeping sensation whose origin you can't identify. And when it does, I hope you won't brush off that sensation as nothing. You're worrying over nothing. Xichun whipped around away from Honglu as if to express dissatisfaction, but her softened expression told me that she was glad to see him worried. We don't have a good source of courage. My alien in Christ, Gregor gives +6. We know all about your Christ in space. No, Gregor gives good. Gregor does give good, courage. But I'm wondering, I'm just thinking that, like, Heathcliff is gonna be carrying a lot, I bet. Like, I think he's gonna increase things as much as, like, Faust does. Alright, more warfare time. See, we get +12. I need to find a good combo with him. Alright. I had a so-so time learning about the Fixers and their deeds. It boosted our morale though, and we needed that, so that's good. Every 6 days you will be subject to midterms prepared by the board of directors, Xichun. A palanquin has been prepared to take you to the exam sites, and only by passing the tests may Xichun retain her status as the family hierarch. My lady. Oh, don't worry yourself over much, Master Wei. You sound like you're at a funeral. She will pass these tests with ease as long as she has been diligently taking her classes. No, I simply hope I can survive until she returns. Seemed that Wei's rather funereal voice wasn't just out of his concern for Xichun. Wei, are you sure you're okay? Can't escape them. Even in dreams, the unfinished bundles of paperwork cascading over me like a storm, burying me. Oh my gosh, so much paperwork. Steel yourself, for that was no dream at all. In fact, never have I once seen paperwork trained in the arts of airwalking until now. I must be severely sleep deprived. Looks like we're not the only ones going through the ringer. Alright, gained 1 defensive level. Alright, battle lesson time. Time for our midterm. Let's test her out. We've got a lot of humanity, wisdom, not a lot of courage. Let's see. Midterm time. Hey, you're one of the she-boys. We finally meet. I had hoped to fight you in the family Hierarch War. Yeah, we've not seen this guy before. Xichun. If you'd run into me then... Isn't this supposed to be a sparring match? Why does it sound like you have a personal grudge against me? Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. Why in the world would I ever hold a grudge against you? The results of the family Hierarch War couldn't be any clearer, and everyone even remotely connected to this mess had all been dragged away and put under investigation. And hey, guess what? They dragged away half of my family, which means more room for me. I should really thank you, right? Honestly, why don't you just declare a war against the Shi family at this point? Wouldn't that be much easier? War is not easy. It never is. What are you on about all of a sudden? It's not something we should be talking so lightly about, even as a joke. Your family was arrested because they are under investigation for treason against Daguan Yuan. If they're innocent, I'm sure they'll be released soon enough. I know it's pretty much a given that they'll all be ruled as guilty, regardless of what really happened. You know I can't even pay them a visit because you've hidden their cells all over Hongyuan. They're not hidden. All holding cells within Hongyuan have always been designed to move around in very short intervals. You know, that does seem like the kind of design that would lead people to make some unfortunate assumptions, though I'm sure the initial purpose was to prevent escapes. I recently gained a better understanding of Hongyuan's structure, so I'm planning to change our policy so that prisoners still on trial are allowed to have fixed locations. Really? Where'd you... I was lucky enough to take a few excellent classes recently. Managed to reflect upon myself a bit too. Huh. You did change a little. Still, you better not expect me to go easy on you. I've got my own things to take care of. Good. Come on, let's do this. Many illustrious fixers of the past have said that naught but disparagement awaits unjust victories. Okay, it's battle time! Oh my gosh, there's a little Xichun doll in there! It's like having an American Girl doll. Okay. Crimson Strike, let's go. Very good. Okay, she's going to double Crimson Phoenix. We got this. Excellent. Alright, we're doing good damage. She's gonna double Crimson Spring, and then Crimson Phoenix. She's at 45 sanity. She's got this. I'm just loving watching Xichun fight. Look at her. Look at her go! We're almost a third of the way down. And one more Crimson Spring. And Crimson Phoenix. Can we get him to stagger in this round? Okay, he's gonna charge, wind up. No, we totally got this. He's on speed 5. Let's go. Get him to stagger. Come on, yeah! Excellent. We won this midterm. Good for you. You won. Now stop giving me that look and get out of here. You lost most of your clan during the family Hierarch War, didn't you? Yeah? So what? Are you calling me a penniless loser? Yeah. You little... And I'm sure that's what I look like to you, too. Huh. I don't want your... Sorry, every clan member who died in the evaluation to have died... I don't want your... Sorry, every clan member who died in the evaluation to have died for nothing. If I show weakness, that means I'm making everyone who participated in the evaluation look weak. So I'm going to win. And I'm going to win without the fertile soil my predecessors have left behind, because their legacy was unjustly nourished by the blood and tears of Hong Yuan itself. Shi Huashen, you are tenacious, determined, and strong of will. That must be why everyone stood by you, down to the last man. You knew my name. Man, I do. So, what do you think? Want to make them sing your name in glory for the remaining history of Hong Yuan? Alright, I think we won one over. Oh, exploring and overcoming the unknown, Zhonghu journeys, and more classes. Oh, my voice is getting really rough from all this voice acting. I am really enjoying the structure of this. I want to play this so much more. Oh my gosh, I want to let you all know. I'm going on vacation for 3 weeks. I'm going on vacation. I'm not going to be here next Saturday. Nope, I'm not going to be here for the next 3 Saturdays. So this is going to be sitting all that time? I can't believe it. I might have a bonus Limbus stream. I'm gonna be away from my computer. I'm so sorry, everyone. I know that's gonna be so many Limbus Saturdays off, but maybe I'll have a bonus stream this week. Keep your eyes peeled, everyone. Out of country or no, I'm not going through the hole in time and space. I'm just going to go visit some important people. You know, I just need to reset and work on some special things. Like when I come back, I'm going to have my 1-year review. I'm going to have my 1-year annual review where I am going to talk about all of my growth in my first year of streaming and what I want to do in the next year and show off my best clips. So when I come back from break, you all have that to look forward to. That's probably gonna be my first stream when I return. Alright, so thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining me. My voice is so wah. It's so wah right now. Alright. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Everyone past, present, and future. No matter where you are in time and space, I wish you peace and love. Don't forget to give me a like so more people see the video, and subscribe so that you can see when my next Limbus Saturday is after vacation, so you don't have to keep peeking at my channel, everyone. And also, keep an eye out for that first year review where I'm going to talk all about all of my experiences in my first year of streaming, and I'm going to have a Q&A session. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Peace. And Club.